Hello friends, I would like to speak on the concept that is the chromosomes and biodiversity. In biology, chromosomes are very important structural entities playing a very important role, that is the continuity of living organisms on this earth for the so many number of generations. So all organisms, including the microbes like viruses, bacteria and fungi, all higher plants and animals, are containing the chromosomes, exception for the earlier groups like viruses and bacteria, although the chromosomes are not well organized, but there is the material like genetic material, DNA and RNA, also present in the microbes like viruses and bacteria, but without the fully organized chromosome. So that based on the nature of the chromosome, which are accommodated in the special site of the cell, that is the nucleus, the whole organisms are coming under the two groups, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. I am going to give scope on the what is called a second group, the eukaryotes, where in their body all the cells are going to contain the nucleus. The nucleus is often referred to as the master center of the cell, probably because of the presence of this genetic material, which is the basis for the continuity of life of a species over the generations. This genetic material, DNA, is seen to be associated with some special kind of proteins, which are called as nucleoproteins, or so precisely histones, also known as core proteins, to give a particular shape to the chromosome. From that point of view, the nucleus is said to be the master center or master controller of activities of the cell. And these chromosomes are also commonly referred to as the vehicles of heredity. This is because they carry the load of genetic information from the parents to their offspring. So this transmission of the genetic characters is through the chromosomes only. How are these chromosomes are carrying the genetic information? It's a very common question in biology, that these are present in a particular number, and it varies from organism to organism, and named as pleiady Usually the normal cells of the organisms are going to have the chromosome in pairs, that is called as diploidy. So total number of genomes, total number of chromosomes present in the organism is known as genome. This genome is containing several sets of chromosomes, usually which are said to be similar to each other in a set, known as homologous chromosomes. So several sets of chromosomes are there in different species that are present on Earth. So if we go to that, or to know the chromosome number, that is the diploidy in the organisms, we can have a view about our familiar organisms. In case of plants, Arabidopsis thaliana, its 2n number is 10. That means 10 chromosomes are there which are paired to make the 5 pairs of chromosomes are there. In a rye plant, 14 chromosomes, that is 2n number is equal to 14. Our common bread wheat, its chromosome number is 14, that is 2n is equal to 14. Our maize has 20, tobacco has 48. Our common vegetable plant, onion, has 16. That means 2n is equal to 16. And in plants, the maximum number of chromosomes recorded is in a lower group of plants, which is known as Pteridophyta, where in that there is a plant like Ophioglossum, scientifically called as, it has 1200 chromosomes. That means from the 10 to 1200 chromosome number we can come across in the plant group. And when you come to the animal side, or earthworm, which is familiar to all, it is commonly called as a friend of farmer, is present in the fields for the enrichment of fertility. This earthworm has 2n number 36. That means singly, that is n is equal to 18. So n plus n, that is diploid number, is equal to 36. And common fruit fly that is present in our house, that is Drosophila, its 2n number is equal to 8. Our domestic cat has 38. Our domestic pig has also 38. And laboratory mouse, that is guinea pig, 2n number is equal to 40. Rat has 42. Rabbit has 44. We human beings have 46. 2n number is equal to 46 and n is equal to 23. That means 23 pairs. Gorilla and chimpanzee, which are said to be our ancestors back, they have 2n number is equal to 48. Our domestic sheep has 54. And garden snail, a small worm which is present in the middle of small plants ground level, it has 54. And silkworm 56, 2n number is equal to 56. And elephant, said to be the biggest animal on earth, that is 56 chromosome only. Cow has 60, donkey has 62, dog has 78, the housefly has 64, goldfish, our aquatic big fish, that has 104 number of chromosomes. Kingfisher, that is a bird that is having 132 chromosome, 2n number is equal to 132. So this is called as pleiady of the organisms, which is going to vary from organism to organism. So whatever number the chromosome present in a species or organism, it has a commonality. That means the chromosome main component is DNA, genetic material, and associated with the stone proteins or core proteins. There is a stability in the nature of this DNA where it is simply made up of a pentose sugar and the phosphate group, PO4 group, and a nitrogenous base. So these nitrogenous base are only 4 kinds, 2 purines and 2 pyrimidines. So purines are adenine and guanine, as you know, all biologists know that, adenine and guanine, and pyrimidines are the thymine and cytosine. So this nitrogenous base and a sugar entity, a pentose sugar, 5-carbon sugar, and a PO4 group attached to it, it makes the nucleotide. So many number of nucleotides are going to arrange in sequence in long form. Long form means to the extent of about 250 to 300 microns in length in the chromosome. That DNA is having the consistency, it is not exposed to the much changes. So this DNA carrying material, of course, along with core proteins, is the chromosome, or the chromosome can come into existence by maintaining its specific shape is due to the DNA and the core proteins. So these chromosomes which are present in the body of the organism are present in pair, that is homologous chromosomes. Among them, an organism is going to possess the homologous chromosomes by its parents, male and female. Chromosome which has been contributed by the male parent is referred to as paternal chromosome, and chromosome that is contributed by the female parent is known as maternal chromosome. So a pair of chromosome as P and M chromosome, such number of pairs may be there in the organism, as I told, like onion containing 16, rabbit containing 44, and elephant containing 56, whatever it may be. So that the pair is contributed by an individual or a species by its parents. So that is the chromosome total number constitutes the genome of that organism, and this number, the chromosome number, it is being flown from the parents to their offspring. The number is said to be reduced in sense, in a very precise manner, very strict manner. Whatever the genome that is present in the organism is going to become half, exactly half. So this half number of chromosomes is possible by the division of the DNA of the chromosome, or the chromosomal division, in a very precise process in the cell called as meiosis. So this meiotic division of the cell leads to the development of the reduced number of chromosomes, haploid number of chromosomes. So this haploid number of chromosomes of a genome of a species is going into its gametes. So gamete formation, you know, that is a process meant for the sexual reproduction or a higher kind of reproduction, which is observed both in plants and animals. So during meiosis, chromosome number is being reduced with the complex stages like prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. In this prophase stage of meiosis, the paternal and maternal chromosomes are going to exchange their segments with the sub stages like leptotin, zygotin, phacotin, diplotin, and diakinesis. With these sub phases of prophase, the very important thing happening is the exchange of genes between the paternal and maternal chromosomes, and this is, according to molecular biology, is known as the genetic recombination. So after the recombination of genes between the paternal and maternal chromosomes, gametes are formed, and these gametes from the male side, or the male gamete from the female side, female gametes, they are going to unite as per their general natural rules. They get attracted and they are going to unite to result into a body called as zygote. So this zygote is the first cell becoming diploid, because gametes necessarily formed after meiosis becoming haploid. These two gametes, male and female, are going to unite together to restore the diploidy. So that restoration of diploidy takes place for the first time in the zygote nucleus. So that zygote, resultant of sexual reproduction by having diploid number of chromosome, develops into a multicellular body, and this multicellular body, many cell structure is going to become organized into the tissue, organs, and the whole organism is going to develop from the single cell, that is zygote. So this zygote has all potency to develop into a whole organism, where it shows many number of characters similar to the parents from which it is originated. So organisms are continuing their life in more number of offspring or generations by containing the genetic characters. So here the genetic characters of the parents are running, are moving into their new ones or young ones or offspring through the chromosomes only. That's why the chromosomes are called vehicles of heredity. Thank you.